Kyle Kinsler back here with the Kinsler Brown or the KB article here today. I just wanted to do a hello to everybody. Just kind of reiterate what we were talking about from the last time and was talking about individuals' potentials. So we've gone through about six different segments, got a few more to go, kind of wrap things up today. And but first and foremost, when we're talking about individuals and getting to their potential is do they have that fixed or more of a open mindset? And of course, a fixed mindset is kind of doing things that are very regimented. But at the end of the day, if you have more of an open mindset, is that you have that ability to want to pursue, to do more, to learn more. How do I get more accomplished? How do I propel things forward? So that mindset, that's first and foremost the most important thing that we have. A few more characteristics I just wanted to add to that is when you're trying to get into your potential is, um, let's try not to do everything on our own. We need to try to do things that are maybe then we need a little bit of help with sometimes. Not everybody goes from just being from A to Z and getting into a successful business. I've always identified myself and why I got into the franchise system is that I was the world's best copycat. Because I figured that if I could follow a system to where maybe I have a blueprint on what to do, and if I follow that blueprint, and if it fails, then I know it's the blueprint that's wrong. But if I follow the blueprint and it's successful, then I will follow that blueprint. And for some reason, most people they just don't follow that footprint. So, but anyways, yeah, just kind of that stick to itiveness, knowing or getting around people that know more than you do. Chad Brown, my business partner, and I, we went down to Dallas last week, and we met with an old friend of ours that was putting on a real estate boot camp, and that's actually, I believe that's what the name was, is real estate boot camp down there in Dallas. And it was wonderful to be in a room of people that weren't necessarily all in the same industry that we are in, but everybody wanted to learn more about their tax situation. And a lot of people, they want to know more about real estate. Some people were into multi-million dollar real estate dealings. Others were just getting started, but everybody had the same passion there, and it was really nice and fun. We're still following up with people this week and today, and just picking people's minds and that type of thing, and collaborating and helping us grow each other as we grow each other's businesses. Um, Secondly, yeah, so there, just to make sure that you try not to do everything on your own. Reach out to those that know more than you, and yeah, just so much more out there to get things done. Showing empathy and compassion. This is a big one, and this was always kind of hard for me. As after I spent 20 years in a couple of years in the regular army, and then 18 years in the Army National Guard. Upon getting out of the regular army, I went to college and I got a business degree with a management concentration. And gosh, I wish I would have taken an assessment before I got into college, because I like what I don't want to like manage the people the way that it is. Actually, I'm really not good at the individual management side of things, because I've been identified that my style being that the management or the having the military background, I was just kind of such very task driven. Just get this done, get this done, and then everything's going to be done at the end of the day. And then if you start outside those bounds, then then we got to do things over here. But it's really kind of leadership is more. I've identified over the years is that leadership is more of an art than it is of a science. And every person within their organization, they've all got to be treated differently. Uh, I mean, they still have their same ramifications and that sort of thing. Like if we, don't do or outside of, have sometimes things just go wrong, or whatever it is, and we still have to address things accordingly. But uh, people take things differently, and the way that we react to things, that's that means a lot. So one thing that I would just keep in mind is, rather than things getting you upset right away, or people are always going to let you down, and vice versa. I mean, we let down our employees, And if you're around long enough, somebody's going to make you very upset within your organization. You're going to make them very upset. But we got to get past that. And we got to talk about providing some grace from time to time and providing that empathy. So if you do have an instance, or maybe you get an email or something shows up that you didn't expect to happen, and it's just like, that's not what I really wanted, or whatever it was, rather than being reactionary, just breathe a little bit, think about it a little bit. And maybe sometimes you got to sleep on it, and come overnight and just, and ask for direction. And and then you wouldn't believe the things that come out of that. And if things can, if you can just breathe a little bit and address things in a different approach and that type of thing, it's it's harder to do, but at the same time, it's easier, and the benefits of just being rational and just cool tempered, it goes so much further, and employees really appreciate that. So maybe next time when those things come up, they won't maybe won't talk about crossing the line or trying to make things upset, or whatever it is. So, and then, but anyways, we can keep on propelling the organization forward, but just slow down a little bit to move things up. And then last but not least, we want to talk about discipline and having that laser like focus. Once you set your goals and you can reflect on what needs to happen in order to get you there, and then what daily habits do you need to have? I know as well as anybody, um, you have some successes in life. It's really easy to go out and, if I've had those successes, you get up in the morning and say, man, I just don't feel like doing it really hard today, or whatever it is. But as I've had so much successes, is that I can just kind of relax today, or maybe I'll relax a little bit more this week because things are going so well. But if we don't have that persistence, or if we don't have that leader, or not that leader, but that laser type focus, and we discipline ourselves to get out of bed, let's get these things done, and this and that. And the more and more that you do that and you work on that discipline, the easier it is just to keep on crossing the bridge to get where your organization needs to be. Otherwise, you become stagnant, right? So we've got to learn to have that discipline and that laser like focus. Um, we have this little thing that we have within our organization, something that we recognized as far as the leadership goes, and is we try to limit the number of GATA minutes that we have in our organization. So if you're really focused on something, and if you put yourself into an organization, maybe you have a number of employees that are around you, what oftentimes happens is that anytime something comes up, or I have a question on this, or I have a question on that, or my technology isn't working here, or I don't know how that technology works, or I'm really as bad as anybody out there. Now, my wife, she basically has to lock herself up in the office sometimes just to make sure that that doesn't happen, and just leave each other alone anymore. So if you try to keep your days so focused and without interruptions, and it's not just for yourself, but for other people that are around you. So if you can keep that laser like focus each day, and every time they have an issue, don't have a got a minute moment, or especially don't bring other people into it all the time that we don't necessarily need to be. That just really borrows a lot of time from the organization that we don't necessarily need to have. One good way to address this is maybe you, as a leader in the organization, that you meet with all your colleagues that are working for you, and you have a set timeline. So we're going to talk about today. I'm going to meet with Misty from 3 to 3:45. And we're going to go through all the things that are holding her up, or whatever questions that they have. Because if you have that laser like focus, and you know what's expected of you, and if you're accountable, and you know what you're supposed to do, and you're getting that done, of course, that will help refocus and get that laser like uh, focus going in your organization. So, well, anyways, with that, hope all is well. You have a nice weekend, and we will talk to you again soon. And have a good day. Bye-bye.